Hello once again. Thank you so much for joining me on the Jessica Brima channel. I just want to share a few thoughts with you for a few minutes, just a few minutes. And while we are at it, please click the subscribe button, click the thumbs up, and share this with your friends and everyone that needs to have this information. Of course, you've heard what is going on at the tribunal. The fact that the tribunal judges are being manipulated, being intimidated, and being blackmailed in a way, because naturally almost all the judges in Nigeria have compromised, especially those at the Supreme Court. And the Tinubu government has enough evidence to blackmail all of them. That's why you hear that Wike and the Imo State governor, the Supreme Court governor of Imo State, they're all in the picture trying to twist the tribunal judges and the Supreme Court judges to rule in Tinubu's favor. From what we're hearing so far, the judges are ready to play ball because they are being blackmailed. Not just because of the billions they will get, but because they have compromised over the years. They compromised with Wike, making Wike governor when Wike did not win. If you remember the time Wike confessed to using the Supreme Court judges, the government of Buhari at the time arrested the judges or searched their homes and found thousands of dollars in the homes of these judges. I remember in particular the one of the judges then, I think he's still in the Supreme Court. They restored him after some years. They restored him, yes. He confessed to the DSS at the time that yes, that Wike used Mary Odili to bribe all of them to rule in Wike's favor. He said Odili's wife was crying to them, Mary Odili, who was then in the Supreme Court, that she was crying to them and said, please, my husband has high blood pressure, and if Wike doesn't win, my husband is going to die. And so they said they considered her crying, her tears, and they reinstated Wike, not without collecting money from Wike anyway. So that judge, those judges were suspended. This particular Igbo judge that made that confession was suspended. But after a while, I think after some years, he was restored. And, the usual Nigerian thing, let's just pretend it didn't happen, because I guess now the APC government was ready to use him. That's what happens. So Wike has enough to blackmail these judges. And of course, the Supreme Court governor of Imo State has so much to blackmail them with. After all, he didn't come close to winning the election, but they installed him as Supreme Court governor, not without compromising. So now the threat is that if you don't play the game the way we want it, if you try to mess up Tinubu, the DSS and ICPC are on notice to arrest you and charge you for compromising the integrity of the courts when you collected bribes to make Wike and the Imo State governors at different times when you knew they didn't win the election, when money had to change hands. So that's the quagmire now. That's the mess these judges have found themselves in. But Justice Ugo was able to wriggle out of it and say, sorry, I'll rather resign than change the constitution by saying that Tinubu won when he didn't win 25% of Abuja. I wish that were all. I wish that were all. But of course, you've heard that Tinubu says he doesn't mind a rerun. Because the judges, they are trying to find a way to give him a soft landing, considering the threats and blackmails they've gone through. So the soft landing will be declaring a rerun, rather than declare that Tinubu did not win, and therefore the results the Labour Party agents have, they are complete enough to make Obi president. Since the Beavers did not have enough record to make Tinubu the president, they don't have enough to make Atiku the next president. Because everything they did was just rigged. Tipex here, Tipex there. Adding 5 plus 5 and getting 1,000. So they don't have that. The only thing would have been to declare Obi president, because even the little results that were able to be uploaded on the Beavers show that Obi won most of the states. He scored the highest number of votes and he won most of the states. But the judges don't want to do that. They are coming to an agreement with Tinubu that there should be a rerun of the election. Oh my, at this point I just want to laugh. And guess what? Tinubu, the only man that is not even qualified to participate in this presidential election. The only man that shouldn't have participated because of his criminal records and all that. He's the one trying to decide that the rerun should be between him and Atiku and not between the three of them. He wants to exclude Obi from the rerun. See who is excluding somebody. The person that is not qualified at all to participate in an election is excluding Obi because he knows that if Obi comes back, if Obi takes part in the rerun, he wouldn't see Obi's back anyhow. And when I hear this rerun, I don't agree that there should be a rerun. Okay, who will supervise the rerun? Is it the same INEC? The same INEC that collected billions from Tinubu to steal the election for him? The same INEC that spent 355 billion naira to conduct 2023 elections. Beavers alone cost them 25 billion naira. That's the money. That's our money, That's our commonwealth. The money belongs to Nigerians, not to Tinubu, not to Buhari, not to Mahmoud. No, it doesn't belong to them. So they want to tell us that they wasted all that money. That all the people that died during the election they killed, that they died for nothing. Is that what they want to tell us? So where are they going to get the next 355 billion to run another presidential election? Where are they going to get that? The Business Day report at that time, when INEC was coming up with their budget, the Business Day newspaper report at that time was that INEC's budget surpassed market costs. It surpassed market costs. As in, the average cost per voter in democracies, in decent democracies, the cost of one person's vote, is between $1 to $300. That's the average cost per voter. Between $1 to $3. Between $1 to $3. But INEC pegged theirs per voter at $6.2. $6. From between $1 to $3, INEC's one was $6. They have so much money to steal, so much money to mismanage. In spite of that, they still collected billions from somebody who didn't win the election. They still pocketed billions personally from somebody who didn't win the election. Look at how they spent 355 billion naira for an election. They now want to have a rerun. Where are they going to get the billions? That's why they decide to punish Nigerians, and Nigerians can no longer afford to buy fuel. The fuel that's produced in their fatherland, they can't. Fuel costs from 165 naira to 700 naira per liter. They want to punish Nigerians for their own looting. They are like the grave that never says enough. They want to loot more and loot more and loot more. Where are they going with this money? This life that one is here today and gone tomorrow. This life that if you don't know God, if you have no fear of God, if you keep treating human beings like they don't exist, if you keep punishing the poor, the widow, the orphan for no reason, you end up in hellfire. But these people are not even thinking of that. They're not thinking of eternity. All they're thinking about is here and now. How much do they need to live? How much do they need? All these houses they own everywhere in the world. What are they doing with it? What are they doing with it? That's why the sweat and blood of Nigerians are crying out every day as they are trekking on the streets. As many are slumping and dying, their blood is crying out for vengeance against these wicked rulers, against these rulers that nobody voted for. And so Tinubu wants a rerun. Who will superintend the rerun? Who will take care of it? Who will run the elections? Is it the same INEC? Is it the same Mahmoud? Are we even asking ourselves these questions at all? Or we're just sitting and watching for Tinubu to insist on being president? At least the taste of the pudding is in the eating. We've seen what a Tinubu presidency will be like. He didn't just increase price of fuel. He's increased the price of education, the cost of education in federal schools. So what is he doing with all the billions they're going to make from increase in fuel price? Shouldn't they use it to take care of education and every other need of the citizenry? He's increased the fees of unity schools, federal government institutions from 16,000 to over 100,000. What next is he going to increase? They want to increase lights too. Oh yes, there's an increase in the tariff for electricity coming very soon. What else are they going to increase? They're just killing people for no reason. And Tinubu's army are ready. They are ready. Buhari's own army were headsmen. They were killing all over the place. Yes, Tinubu, those ones are there for him as well. But Asari Dokubo is boasting that he and his private army will deal with anybody that dares question Tinubu. You're not going to shed our blood. I'm sorry. You're not going to shed the blood of our children. No, you will shed your own blood. As far as I'm concerned, there'll be no unity. You guys will begin to fight one another. You guys will begin to kill one another. The Bible declares that they that live by the sword shall perish by the sword. We don't live by the sword. We are on our children. We don't even own any sword. So because you guys, you APC people, you militants, you jihadists, you have the sword. Your sword will pierce your own soul. You will begin to kill one another. Your tongues will be divided very soon. You will kill one another. You will not kill innocent Nigerians anymore. The hardship is so much, and you guys are so soulless. You're so soulless. You're so poor. You guys are wretched. All you have is money, and there's nothing you're going to do with that money that will make you live forever. It's only a matter of time. I'll leave it there for now, my brothers and sisters. I keep praying that God will rend the heavens and come down over Nigeria and show that indeed He's the God that rules in the affairs of man. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's the Jessica Brima channel. I'm Evangelist Jess Brima. And please subscribe to my channel. Click share, like, and God bless you richly.